is Melissa Hill, Keller Williams of Greenville, North Carolina, and I am so excited to talk to you today. So, I was having a conversation today with an individual, and they were saying, when is the perfect time to buy? Okay. Um, and I know there's a lot of conflicting information out there about whether you should buy now or if you should buy later. Interest rates are high, so you shouldn't buy now. Interest rates are only climbing and getting higher, so you should buy now. The prices of the homes are high, so you shouldn't buy now. The prices of the homes will go down, and you should wait until later. You're just hearing all this information out here, and it's kind of hard to determine what is best for you. Okay. And so, what I want to talk about today is how you determine when it's the best time for you to buy. And there's a few things I think that you must consider when you're making a determination on whether or not you should buy now or if you should buy later. Okay. So, things that you should be considering if you own the home that you're in now, opposed to renting, it might be something you need to consider. How you're planning to buy, what are you planning to do, and how are you planning to do it, and how that may affect how much you end up paying back. Okay, your ability to pay more than your monthly payment, whatever that monthly payment is. Okay, and then the type of loan that you're getting. Those are some things that you really should consider when you're getting ready to do this. Okay. So let's talk about some reasons that you should buy now. Some of the reasons that you should buy now is because although rates are higher than what they were last year, rates overall aren't as high as they were when the market crashed. When you go back to before our market crashed, interest rates were as high as 8.5%. And if you was an individual that had some hiccups on your credit and had to use subprime lending, you paid as much as 12%. Okay. So today's rate compared to what they were then are actually low, but you're thinking about what they were last year. I get it. But rates hadn't been that low since like the 1930s. So that was one of those special times where they saw the market was soft. People weren't buying home because COVID, people were staying at home. So they lowered the interest rate. And lo and behold, everybody and their mama, whether they was planning to buy a house or was afraid of everything that had happened with COVID and made them start taking off stuff off their bucket list, they all went out and bought a house. Okay. So that's what happened in that market. And it was extraordinary because it was not the norm. Okay. So these rates, I don't want you to be afraid of these rates that are out here. And I'll explain to you what I mean by that and in a little bit in a full breakdown. But basically, I want you to understand that rates are always fluctuating. Okay. But if you are renting, we're going to use that one right there because we did talk about that earlier. So if you're renting, the money that you are paying into your rent will never be recouped. That money is gone. Okay. It's not becoming equity into your home that you are living in, and you will never see it again. So that's just one of the things. The other things is the actual joy of home ownership, being able to paint your walls gray or pink or blue or purple. It doesn't matter. You own the home. You can paint the walls whatever color you want to. No restrictions on that. If you want to make improvements on the home, you're making improvements to your own home, not someone else's property. So, in that sense, owning is better. Not only that, but you have tax benefits to home ownership, tax write-offs that you don't get right now. And aside from that, you have the fact that you are actually now becoming a part of a community. I mean, think about it. When you rent, the community that you're in has a high turnover rate. People rarely get to know their neighbors very well. And when you're in a community where people own and people tend to live there for a longer time, they tend to stick around, get to know each other, share events and life events with the friends they found there in that community, and they start to build a special bond. So that's one of the things that you'll get that you may not get from renting. Okay, but let's put all of that aside. And let's talk about how you are buying because this is very important, right? So, how are you planning to buy your home? Are you going to use like an FHA, USDA, VA, one of those first time home buying loans? Is that because you don't have as much money to put down? And if that's the case, will that make a difference? It will. Are you using a conventional loan of some sort? And if conventional loans tend to come with a higher rate anyway, but you're putting a larger sum of money down, it can make a difference. Okay. And are you paying cash? Believe it or not, some people out there are blessed. They are able to buy a home paying cash. That individual should probably wait and see what happened with the prices on the house. Prices on the house coming down for them is a good thing because their money is all going in at once. All right. But if your money is not going in all at once, you really need to consider buying now. And let me explain it to you. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Awesome. So I've got my screen shared with you. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to look at this. So what I did is I went to mortgagecalculator.org and I just pulled up some charts here so that we can go over some things really fast. And it doesn't matter if you're spending $500,000 on your home or $200,000 on your home. I think this here is some really important information. Okay. And it's all about not just what the house costs now, but what you're paying in interest and how that will increase what you pay over the lifetime of the loan. Okay. So we're going to start here because I got these all planned out and they're just nice and easy to work with. So let's do it. On the right hand side of the screen, you see this individual is paying $200,000. They got that 3.5% for, let's say, an FHA loan. They got a 6.7% interest rate. Okay. We put all kinds of fees in here for property taxes and everything just so we can get a really good scenario. Okay. This individual right now would pay 1609 at these rates and things you see here. Doesn't mean that that's what your rate is going to be, but it's what you see here. But 1609, okay? They are going to pay back $255,000 in interest, okay? Now, let's say that individual wait and the actual cost of the home goes down, but your interest rates goes up. So they've waited, and now that house is at $185,000, but the rate is going up to 7.7%. Okay. So now what happens is they pay more money as far as the monthly payment. They're paying 1630. So they're paying a lot more money a month than they did before. And because of this, they have a higher amount of interest that's being paid back. It was like 255,000. Now it's 279,000. So you see how that's going up, which means that they're going to end up paying back more money over the life of the loan. Well, let's say they wait even longer, right? And now the value of this house is going down $30,000. We're talking about $170,000. However, our interest rates are up to 8.7%. This person now is going to pay 1636 a month. And then over the life of the loan, they're going to pay $298,000 in interest. So it doesn't benefit them to wait for the price of the house to come down if the interest rate goes up. And it is not about that was a $200,000 house. I'm looking at a $500,000 house because now we're going to look at this side over here. We got a $500,000 home. 6.7% interest rate. Okay. And with that, all the other information and stuff is still the same. And we're going to calculate that. And we've got that they're going to end up having a monthly payment of $3,500. Okay. But now look, they're paying $600,000, $638,000 in the amount of taxes that they're going to pay back over the life of that loan. Okay. So we're going to take this same house and we're going to bring it down to 475. Okay, so the price of the home is going down, but again, interest rates have gone up. Now we're going to calculate, and here you go. Interest rates have gone up, price of the house is going down, monthly payment is going up. Before we were at 35.97, now we're at 37.42. Okay. And before they was going to pay back $638,000, now they're going to pay back in interest $718,000. Well, wait, we're going to say, hey, what if it went down even more, right? Let's say the house goes down to $450,000. And then this individual is now paying 8.7% in interest. All right. All right. So now their payment is going up even more. They're paying 38.65 a month. And they're going to end up paying $790,000 back in interest. So what matters the most, like if you're getting a loan and you have put yourself to the point where you're spending at the highest end of your loan, there is no extra money that you can afford to fork over each month to help to bring down the amount of interest that you're paying. And you got to use this loan because you don't have the necessary funds that would be required for like a traditional loan or anything like this. So this is going to allow you to have that lower payment at 3.5% down, and you're not putting a huge amount of money down on the home itself. Buy now. Buy now. Okay? Because you can't rely on the price of the house going down to actually save anything or make your monthly payment cheaper. I mean, it's not necessarily going to happen unless, like I said, you got lots and lots of money to put down. But if you know that you don't have these things, you don't have the ability to pay more, and you're going to have to use one of these programs, even if it's a conventional loan, whatever type of loan it may be, because there are conventional loans out there that do not require you to have a whole host of money down. But whatever the case may be, you want to go ahead and buy now. Okay. And then if you have a huge lump sum of money, all right, if you have the ability to pay back way more than what your monthly payment is going to end up being, then buy later. And definitely if you were paying cash, buy later, but don't feel that now is not the time to do so. Because, like I said, your parents and them paid a much higher interest rate than you are likely to be paying if you were to buy a house now. Okay. So just keep that in mind. And let me just say this. Any information I used here, I'm not saying this is what your rate is going to be. I'm not just saying this is how much house you're going to buy. Like I said before, 10 different people can buy a home, and all 10 of them will be facing a different monthly payment based on their ability. And if you got the ability to buy now, buy now. All right, guys. I just came in to sprinkle a little information on you. And now that we're done, I'm out.